Joining us is Headmistress Katharine Birbalsingh.
Birbalsingh.
I'm in detention for something over that, aren't I? I've got that wrong for starters. It's pretty strict, isn't it?
Well, yes, but people often think that discipline means that it's oppressive, and actually it's exactly the opposite. It's liberating. Children love being in a safe environment where they can put their hand up and answer a question and not worry about other children laughing at them. They're not going to find any bullying. It's our duty as adults to create an environment where children can feel safe so that they can grow up into lovely human beings.
In that piece we saw, and we can see the children here sort of clapping and chanting. Could you just explain what's going on there?
Well, they're giving appreciations to each other. We do that every day at lunch. So we are very big on gratitude because we think if you're a grateful person, you're a happier person. So our children are very kind to each other. They look after each other. At lunch, they clean up after each other. They serve food to each other. And then afterwards, they give appreciations to each other, to their teachers, to thank a teacher for doing a work booklet for them or staying after school to help them. And so it really is a lovely environment where everyone is happy.
But are the kids just not standing up and saying it, but don't actually appreciate? I think they've got to stand up. I've got to give thanks to something, or I might as well give thanks to the fact that someone's cleaned the table for me. How do you know they genuinely mean it?
Well, if you visited, you would see how much they genuinely mean it. I mean, they love being there. They're so excited to come to school, and so are the teachers, because there's no fear of being bullied, and there's no fear of becoming somebody who might do some bullying. The teachers love being there because the children are grateful to them. But we've written a book, The Battle Hymn of the Tiger Teachers, which is why people are talking about us at the moment. And we've written this book because we wanted to show people our methods and explain them. And we have teachers from across the country, 5 to 6 of them, visiting every day and taking bits of our methods to take back to their schools.
Now, I come from a family of teachers, and they will often say, there's no trouble with the pupils, it's the parents that are tricky. It's, you know, the constant dealing with parents that either don't show up or aren't interested, and it's always the child that you want to see the parents of that doesn't turn up for parents' evening. How have you got the parents on board here, or have you just not bothered to?
Well, actually, the children end up disciplining their parents because the children will say, Mum, you're not supporting my learning. I need to do my homework. The children are so inspired because they see the difference. You saw our 2 pupils being interviewed there. They know the difference between the schools they used to be at and now being at Michaela, what they are able to achieve. They see they're learning more. They see that they are better people. They're kinder, they're happier. And so they insist that their parents get on board.
Your school day is 8 hours? If not more?
So from about 8 till 4.
Yeah, and then they have to do an hour and a half homework
and then they do
every single night.
Yes.
There is a school of thought where being a child is all about being able to be a child, and actually that sort of drive and academic work doesn't let them just go out and explore who they are and just be themselves for a while, because they're constantly under pressure to deliver their homework and make sure it's done correctly, because clearly you have very high standards. What's your reaction to that?
Well, I would say they have lots of hours outside of that. They're all playing video games and on YouTube and doing all sorts of things that normal children
do.
do.
When?
So if they're
getting, by the time they got home, it's going to be sort of 4:30, 4:45. They've got to have some tea, then an hour and a half of homework. What time do you think they're going to bed?
Well, children go to bed quite late these days, and
is that good?
Also, well, no, they shouldn't, but they do.
But then your regime demands it. Otherwise, they would have no time to do anything other than that.
They have lunch hour. They have break time where they're all playing basketball and ping pong and chatting to their friends.
But being at home with their brothers and their sisters and resting. I find children are very, very tired these days. They get home from school and they're properly exhausted.
Our children aren't tired, and I think our children aren't tired because they're driven, because they're motivated. You ask our children what they're going to do, they're going to university, they're going to become something. They're not wasting their time.
OK, what about sport? What about going to play for the local football team, doing some gymnastics? Where's the room for that?
Lots of them do that after school. We have some who do dancing after school and various activities, but we also do sport at school. So on a Friday afternoon, there's Friday football, which is a reward for those pupils who've been doing really well. We play against other schools. You know, so we do sport in the kind of normal way that other schools do, and they really enjoy it.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's fascinating. I saw the article that was in the paper on the weekend, and I was fascinated by it, and equally understanding how hard you drive the pupils, but how well they are responding to that as well. I'm sure it will create a lot of debate with our viewers this morning.
I think we have been running a poll, actually, haven't we? Have we got the details of that? Have we got the poll details?
Poll on the website, which is, should there be more discipline in schools? That's pretty resounding affirmation that people think it should, 85%.
Well, and we teach them to give up their seats on the buses. So they look after people out in the public. The public look to them. We get people writing into us from outside the school saying, we've never seen anything like this before. We take them on school trips, 120 of them out. But you wouldn't notice, because when they're on the tube, they're giving up their seats, they're making way, they're opening doors for people. That kind of kindness. And they also feel gratitude for how lucky they are in life. So they're happy people. I mean,
sounds wonderful. Can I?
It is wonderful.
I really fancy a bit of it.
A bit more discipline, let me tell you, Katharine.